Hey family, how y'all doing? Well, aside from doing my Sunday school lesson channels, y'all know that I'm on this health journey to live a better life, not only doing spiritual food, but physical food, right? And so, on last time I showed y'all how I made a little meal for my husband with the cauliflower rice, like a little stir fry with shrimp and all. So I went on Friday to Starbucks, and I had a blueberry muffin that was absolutely phenomenal. And so I was like, I can't always have that from Starbucks, but I was wondering how can I make that healthy for me. So of course I went on famous Google and asked for a keto recipe for a blueberry muffin, and I got one. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. And so I wanted to share it with you so you can make it too if you like. And this, to me, it'll be a good something that you can just snack on during the day or for morning breakfast with a cup of coffee. And I wanted it for breakfast this morning, but I didn't have any, so I said I'm not going to let that happen to me again. So let me start by showing you the ingredients that the recipe calls for. So you're going to need almond flour, and so I got this brand here, but there you can get, they have all different kinds of almond flour, but they ask for the fine almond flour, and this one is by Blue Diamond almonds, and it's almond flour, but this one is finely sifted. So I have that, and then they wanted you to use a sweetener. And so this is the sweetener that I'm going to use. I get this from Aldi's. It's very inexpensive. They also have it at Kroger, one similar, but I like the brand that is so associated with Splendor. So this is like the knockoff brand to Splendor. So if you want to, you can use Splendor in this recipe as well. Also, you're going to need some whole milk, and don't pay too much attention to the carbs, because with whole milk it says for a whole cup, but in this recipe we're only using a quarter of a cup. So if you divide that by 4, you're only like using 3 grams of carbs for this recipe. So that is pretty cool. Where it comes to milk, you're going to use 1 egg, then you're going to use some baking powder. So there's all brands too, but I have this one, baking powder, and you're going to use some salts, and of course our trusty blueberries. Get them now. This was some that I got, and they're almost going bad, so I want to hurry up and use them, because man, I hate throwing away food, don't you? So I had a whole bunch of them, but I wanted to find some way to use them as well. So this was a good opportunity to use them in our baking process. And the last thing they said use a pinch of ground cinnamon. So you don't have to use the cinnamon, that's optional, but I'm going to go ahead and use it in this particular recipe to see just how it goes. So let's start off and let's get this recipe going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wash up my blueberries. It calls for I think I want to do a double batch of this, because it says use a mini pan. So this is my mini muffin cup pan. The muffin cups are really little. So and it has, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 6 times 4 is 24, so it's going to make 24. I'm thinking this particular recipe, it calls for maybe a dozen. I'm not sure, but I'm going to do a double batch so we can make sure that we have enough batter to fill this whole thing, and that way I can share some of them with my friends, and also my husband can enjoy them as well, and my kids if they want to try them. Okay, so I'm going to first start by washing off the blueberries. And the recipe calls for 2/3 cups of blueberries, but I'm going to do, like I said, a double batch. Let me bring the camera down, because y'all don't need to look at me. Y'all need to look at the food, right? Okay, give me 1 second. There you go. Oops. Yeah, I brought it way down, guys. All right, there you go. So I'm going to do, and let me stop rattling you all around. All right, so I'm going to use my little cup here, and I'm going to grab up Yeah. Some of them, they really, they soft. But that's okay. I'm going to grab up 2/3 here, and then I'll do another 2/3 since I'm doing a double batch. And you hear water running because I am actually doing this on the spot, guys. I'm cooking for real, right? All right. So that's 1/2. And I'm really going to throw these away after this recipe. I'm going to throw them out. I hate to have to do that, but, well, I'm not going to eat anymore, just plain blueberries. So I could have made a shake with it too. So I have another one. I'm going to just keep that one. But I'm going to get rid of these. Okay. Alright, so now I'm rinsing those off, giving them a good rinse off. The box did say that they were already pre-cleaned, but you know, I believe that you still need to rinse your stuff off yourself, you know, clean it up real good. Alright, so I'm rinsing those off, and so now I'm going to go ahead on and add all of the ingredients together. So we start with our almond flour. Yeah, I had to run out to the store and buy this because I thought I had it, but I had coconut flour. But this recipe called for almond flour finally, so I had to go out and get it. So it says 1 cup, but remember I'm doing a double batch of this, so I'm going to do 2 cups. So this is 1 cup here, and another cup. And don't worry if this stuff make a mess. That's what you have water for, right? Okay, 2 cups of almond flour. But man, I hate wasting my flour because this stuff was not cheap. Okay. Then it says add a tablespoon of our sugar substitute. Okay, and so that's our sugar substitute here. Here's my bowl. I'm going to add 2. And guys, if you don't have one of these, you need to get you one because it has all of the different cup measurements on here. And it says that we're going to do 1 tablespoon. So here's my tablespoon. It says that on it. And I'm going to use 2 because remember we're doing a double batch. 1, 2. And you know what? For me, because your girl just loves sweets, I'm going to do 3. I just like mine sweet. I'm sorry. Okay. Then it says 1/4. Let me turn the water off of my. It says 1/4 of a cup of milk, and so I have my 4th measuring cup, and so I'm going to get the milk out. Again, we're doing a double batch, so if you do 1/4, and since you're doing 2 batch, what's that is, guys? 2/4. And what is 2/4, guys? In real math, I'm not going to teach y'all today. But 2/4 is a half. I'm going to say that anyway. Okay. There you go. So I did the 2/4 of the milk. Then it says 1 large egg. But I'm going to do 2 because, again, you're double batching it. So let me get the eggs out. And normally you're supposed to, so I'm going to do this the right way. When you are cracking eggs, you really shouldn't crack it into whatever you are making, because if you get a shell or something could be wrong. One time I cracked open an egg and actually it was in an embryonic state and it has some red stuff in it. And I was like, oh my God, good thing I did not crack that off in my mixture because I would have had to throw everything out. And so I'm going to go ahead on and pre-mix my eggs before I put that in my mixture. Okay, so then I have the 2 eggs. I'm going on and mixing it in right now. All right. And then after the 2 eggs, it says a half of a tablespoon of baking powder. So half and half is whole, right? So I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of baking powder because remember again, we are what? Doubling this recipe. So if you're doing just 1 batch, you're going to just use that 1/2. Okay, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Isn't it funny when you're making something sweet, you have to add salt to it? So a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. A fourth and a fourth is a half, but I'm going to go ahead on and do it. A fourth and a fourth 2 times. Fourth and a fourth, okay? And then it called for 2/3 cups of blueberries. But I remember, guys, I'm doing it too. So I did 2/3. And so now we're going to go ahead on and mix our batter up. Guess I'll use my whisker to mix it. And I probably should have used a spoon, but I'm going to just go ahead and use the whisker. So I'm just mixing it up. You just mix the batter up. And guess what? This don't even look like it's going to be enough to fill up all of those other ones that I have. It's still not a lot. Okay. And you whisk it until, can you see, all of the ingredients are fully mixed together. And so I got them all mixed together. I don't think you have to do much more than that until they're all whisked together. Got it all, okay? And then you take your muffin pan here, and I'm going to spray mine. I'm going to spray mine with a butter spray. But hey, you can use they have all different kinds of spray. They have the olive oil spray. They have the canola spray. Here's the olive oil spray. You can use that as well. They have canola spray also. But I'm just going to go ahead on in with this spray. And I'm going to use a normally when I'm doing cupcakes or something, I use a ice cream scooper. But that would be too big for this. So what I'm going to use is my tablespoon measuring thing, and because you have to put half of the recipe in the muffin cup first. So we're going to put half in, and I'm going to show you guys. Let me grab some and put them in right quick. Let me move this bowl, oops, so you guys could see exactly what I'm doing. Can you see that? All right, I think you can. So I'm taking this scoop here, and I'm just putting half of it in. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting half of it in. And the reason why I'm putting half of it in is because then the recipe says that after you put half in, then you take your blueberries. And so I've already cleaned and sifted my blue. And you put a few of them in your muffin pan. And then what we're going to do, and I'm putting 3 in mine. In each one of mine, I'm going to just stick 3 of them in there. Boy, this is, I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to eat some right now. Some of them getting 4, but I'm trying to go for 3 in each one of them. Okay, and so after you put those in, then the recipe says, and you go back over it, and you put the rest of, you put some more batter on top. See that? You put the batter on top. I know it seems like a lot of work. It's really not. It's actually fun. You know what? And what's so good about this is if you have little kids at the house, you can have them to help you do this. They would enjoy doing this. If my grandson was over here, he was here yesterday, but if he was over here today, this is something that he and I could have done together. But I didn't think about it until this morning when I got up, and I was like, oh, I could have made me some blueberry muffins. So Lord, when he sees this video, he's going to be like, oh, Nana. Yeah, that's what he calls me, Nana. I wanted to help you. So this might be enough batter for the whole batch, guys. I'm shocked. It's doing good. I still have a lot in this container. But I'm gonna keep going. Now I'm gonna do it another way, because this is what also it says. You could have did it the first way that I did, but it also says that you can put all of the batter in, and then you can just press the blueberries in on top of your batter and push it down. So I'm gonna try that with these. Okay, so they say you put all your batter in, and then you just press the blueberries in. So you can do that as well. But that one just, to me, is getting a little messy. But hey, when you cooking, it's going to get messy sometime, right? The messy, the better. Tastes better when it's messy, I think. You know how when you have a sandwich or a burger or something and it's so juicy that it rolls all down your arm and everything? Man, oh my goodness. I remember at home we used to have a roast beef on French bread. Who remembers that? And that roast beef sandwich was so good. I mean, it will roll down all of the juice, and you tell them give you extra gravy, and all of that juice will roll down your arm. Oh my. Yes, yes, yes. I remember that. All right, guys. Well, it did go, it made quite a bit. It made quite a bit. And I think to gauge your batter, it might be better to just push you could use, put your batter in and then use all of your, all of your mixture and then put the blueberries on top. Because when you do half and half, you're not really sure, sometimes you may not be really sure how much batter you're going to have left over. So I probably would have went on with, and y'all, I don't like to waste nothing. Can I tell you? I like to scrape the container and get all of my batter out of there. Not wasting any of my batter. None of it. I want to use it all. And then we're going to go ahead on and put these last little blueberries in. Ew, got stuff on my hand. We're going to just finish that off, pushing those blueberries down inside of it. Can you imagine, like, once these pop in the oven, the blueberries is gonna melt all in. Ooh, I can't wait. I'm excited. I can't wait to taste some. I can't wait to taste some. And I'm wondering how this will work with strawberries, guys. Like, we could take and do some strawberries. Ooh, a strawberry muffin. Y'all, look, I'm that type of person. Like, I will have one recipe and I always think of other ways to do that recipe. This is a good way to have some a brunch item. This is a good brunch item to add to your brunch menu. Okay, so this is it. This is how it looks. Do y'all see those? So now I'm going to pop them in a 350-degree oven, and it says you put them in there for about 17 to 18 minutes. And so I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven, and then I'll come back with the finished product so you can see what it looks like, okay? Okay, guys, here is the finished product. I just took them out of the oven. Can you see them? They smell absolutely delicious. They're too hot for me to try one for you right now, so I'm gonna let it cool off for a minute, and then I'm going to taste it and let you guys know what's the verdict. Okay. All right, guys, so I transferred them to an airtight container. I'm gonna keep them here so that they can continue cooling and that we can just eat them whenever we get ready. You can always take them out, pop them in the microwave. Like tomorrow morning when I have my coffee in the morning, I'll have me a good old keto blueberry muffin. But I broke one up as I was getting it out the pan. So I said, this is the one that I'm going to try for you all. But this is how it looks in the middle once it's open. You see those blueberries all the way through. So let me taste it for you. Let's see what we're working with. Oh my. Yeah. It's really If you like blueberries, that tartness of the blueberry combined with the sweetness, it gives it a very good And this one is a little bit warm, still warm. So it tastes so good, warm. Oh my. And I forgot to add my cinnamon to it. But can I tell you that it's not missing? I don't miss that flavor because I don't really eat cinnamon like that anyway. So it didn't really matter that I didn't have it, but I'm sure it would give it just a little bit of a different flavor if you would have added some cinnamon to it. But can I tell you, this is going to be so good with a cup of coffee or some tea. This will be good for a brunch item. I'm just eating the blueberries. I love cooked blueberries. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. Try it. It's really simple. It was easy. You just pop it in the oven. I put it on the top rack of the oven. So and they came out, I mean, they came out perfect. I want to eat more and more and more. So okay, guys, I'll come back later because I'm going to do for dinner today, I'm going to do a mac and cheese with cauliflower. So come back to the channel and I'll do that recipe for you. And I hope you enjoy these recipes, and I hope that you're able to use them to eat healthy, right? Love y'all. Bye.